Hi, so let's have an overview of source control. I'm going to explain the what and the why of version control systems. We're going to be choosing a version control system, VCS, from now on. We'll talk a little bit about what files to include or exclude from your version control. You'll see over the coming lectures how committing is saving a local snapshot of your work at this point in time, and how resetting is rolling back to a previous state that you had before, basically getting you out of trouble. And we'll leave things like branching and pushing and large file support and other technical terms of source control till much later in the course, if at all, if needed. So, firstly, what are version control systems? They're get out of jail cards, if you like. These things are going to allow you to keep very detailed histories of your work and make sure that you can go back to your work in a state that was working and all hanging together properly at any point in time, which is going to be extremely useful. It's also very useful when you're working with other people. There's a load of different systems out there. Git is one of the most popular and becoming more popular very fast. Mercurial is another. Perforce, Subversion, SVN for short, or Tortoise SVN. Or Alien Brain. This is great for art, and it's very good for things like seeing the difference between two different image files, etc. But it's of the order of $10,000. It's out of most people's budget, but it is worth considering if you're primarily wanting to control the versions of your art files. Have a look on Wikipedia there for a complete comparison of all version control software that, well, at least all of it that's on Wikipedia. So we're going to use something called SourceTree. So SourceTree is free software by a company called Atlassian. Why do they give it away for free? Probably because it's very easy to use it with their Bitbucket service, which does have a paid tier, which is the online portion. We're just focusing on local source control for now, just on keeping on your computer local versions of your files. Of course, you need to be backing up your whole computer and your files anyway, and whatever strategy you're using for backup, whether it's CrashPlan or Backblaze or hard drives or all of the above, hopefully, if you're belt and braces, then your source control system will be backed up with that. So we're just talking about local source control. SourceTree is a visual front end for Git or Mercurial. So Git and Mercurial are two version control systems. They work slightly differently behind the scenes. Both are pretty applicable to what we're doing here. But we're going to be using Git, and we're going to be using SourceTree as a front end to Git. It just makes it a lot easier when you're learning and when you're using it to visualize what's going on. There's Mac and PC versions of SourceTree, but the Mac version's a little ahead, so the PC version tends to be lacking a few features, not quite as pretty looking, etc. And as I say, it's really good when you're learning. It's really easy to visualize using SourceTree. So that's why we're going to be showing you SourceTree. So it's challenge time. I want you to install your version control system. Pick a version control system for yourself. If you're already using one, don't change at this stage, just for us. Please just carry on. But if you're not, we'll be using Git with SourceTree as the front end. So Git is the underlying version control system, and SourceTree is just a pretty front end system we're going to be using to make it much easier to interact with than having to remember all the command line commands. Install and register it. You will need to register it, at least within the first 30 days. And have a quick play stroke experiment. You really can't do any harm, so just make a folder, have a quick play, and as soon as you feel like you're not getting anywhere, then carry on watching the videos, and I will show you around SourceTree that I already have installed on my machine. So go ahead, pause the video, and get yourself your version control system installed now. Hey, welcome back. So this is where you go to get SourceTree. If you do a search for SourceTree, I just want to show you their official page just in case you end up somewhere funny on the web. It's a strange place, the internet. SourceTreeApp.com. There you go. SourceTree. And it'll detect your operating system and let you download. It's going to look something like this when it's installed. Now, I'm not going to go through the install and setup. It is just a piece of software. And the hardest bit maybe is you just need to register with them. But you don't even need to do that until 30 days in, I don't think. So once you've installed SourceTree, it'll open up something like this. So this is a project I've been working on recently for the Unreal course. It's a piece of code called Ball Cow Game. And this is the interface. It's prettier on Mac. So if you're taking this course on Mac, you'll be lamenting the fact that it's prettier. It's also prettier than this on a PC with a higher resolution screen. I'm running at 720p high DPI, so it all looks a bit funny, but it's here. Now, the things that you need to focus on really is we're going to have one or more repositories. Now, what are they? Basically, it's a folder containing all of your work for this section. So in a particular section of the course, all your work's going to go in one folder. And that will map to this repo on the left here. So each section will have one. And then all of these things are actually the videos. This is the last section that I produced over in the Unreal course. And each of these stages exactly what I did in that video. Now, the great thing with code is you can see precisely what changed. I can see exactly what I added to this file in this particular revision in video 10. If you're using binary assets, Blender files, image files, etc., you're not going to be able to see the details using SourceTree of what's changed, but it's still going to keep a perfect history for you of exactly how things were at particular stages in time. So I'm not going to tell you how to use this now. That's going to be in the upcoming videos. I just want you to quickly get your eye in. What it's going to be doing for you once you've set it up is this big panel here is going to show you what's changed since the last time. You'll be able to see things called unstaged files, and you'll get to choose to stage these files and then to commit them, which committing is a bit like bundling them up into a zip file and sticking them off to one side, saying, yep, I've got to that stage, it's done, I want to record that as a standpoint in history. So that's what a commit is. And then you're also going to be able to see later how you can actually go back to a previous point in time a couple of different ways. And we'll be showing you checkout and reset and the difference between those. But for now, all you need to know is this is a way of storing a very powerful history with a detail of at least what files have changed. And if you've got text in your files, then you're going to be able to even see precisely what's changed. And this means that if you always commit or save your work in a working state, if everything goes wrong and suddenly your whole project doesn't hang together properly, you can go back to a previous point in time and you are back out of trouble and able to carry on working. So that's an overview of source control. Over the coming videos, you're going to see exactly how we use it, and it's going to be a whole new way of thinking for you. You'll hate it at first if you're new to it, and then you'll love it soon after. See you soon.